Good morning. I'm Crystal Hamouche, clinical psychologist at TPRC. Today I will be talking about culture and diversity. UAE is one of the top 10 economies with the most efficient healthcare sector and ranked top in the Middle East. UAE is rapidly developing its healthcare sector that delivers a high standard of care to the population. UAE spends approximately $1,200 per person each year in healthcare. Due to the constant increase in demand for quality healthcare and with the efforts taken by the UAE government to promote itself as a medical tourism hub, the healthcare industry is witnessing tremendous growth. UAE is a seven states federal government. The capital is Abu Dhabi, and Dubai is the biggest city. And the total fertility rate is 2.58%. UAE population is 10.08 million. The demographics of UAE for the gender split, it's 68.76% for male and 31.24% for female. The Emirati population is 12%. The other nationalities in the UAE, for the Indian, it's 40%, Pakistan 12%, Europeans 10%, Philippines 5%, Iran 3%, Uganda 3%, Arab countries 27%. And the gender distribution is 57% for males and 43% for females. There's differences, variety, and diversity in Dubai. What is culture? Culture is the sum total of the way of living, includes values, beliefs, standards, language, thinking patterns, behavioral norms, communication style. Culture refers to norms and practices of a particular group that are learned and shared and guide thinking, decision, and actions. Diversity is the term used to explain differences between cultures, such as psychological, physical, economic, and social differences that occur among any and all individuals. For example, race, ethnicity, nationality, religion, economic class, age, gender, sexual orientation, mental and physical ability, and learning styles. Aspects of UAE culture: the religion, prayer obligation, Ramadan times, halal food. Death is a destiny and God will. Birth, child abortion is disvalued due to religion and tradition of the families and tribes. Family, the value of family connections is highly appreciated. Age, elderly are sought for advice and dealt with respect. Motherhood, fertility for women is a source of pride and increased respect. Gender of care providers may depend on patient preference. Manhood, men by culture lead the provide for the other members of the family. Intake alcohol and drugs are forbidden. UAE is a multicultural society where many different nationalities and various backgrounds meet to conduct homogeneous interactions. Even UAE's Arab inhabitants, who speak various dialects of the Arabic language, share the values and beliefs of the Arab culture. A basic understanding of the Arab culture, attitudes, values, beliefs, and practices is important to be culturally competent. To be culturally competent, a healthcare provider needs to understand her own word, views, and those of the patient while avoiding stereotyping and misapplication of scientific knowledge. Cultural competences is obtaining cultural information and then applying that knowledge. This cultural awareness allows to see the entire picture and improves the quality of care and health outcomes. Why? Perception of illness and disease and their causes varies by culture. Culture also influences how people seek healthcare and how they behave toward healthcare providers. Healthcare providers must possess The ability and knowledge to communicate and to understand health behaviors influenced by culture. Having this ability and knowledge can eliminate barriers to the delivery of healthcare. How? By knowledge, attitude, and skills. The role of care providers always give the reason or purpose for a treatment or prescription. Personal information may be closely guarded and will be difficult to obtain. Avoid saying you must. Instead, teach patients their options and let them decide. For example, some people in this situation would. Male doctors should examine a female patient with the presence of another female healthcare provider. Ensure to have the waiting areas with separation of male and female places. Maintain privacy and confidentiality. Interpreted patient education. Learn and use a few phrases of greeting and introduction in the patient's native language. This conveys respect and demonstrates your willingness to learn about their culture. Inform the patient that the interpreter will translate everything that is said, so they must stop after every few sentences. When speaking or listening, watch the patient, not the interpreter. Add your gestures while the interpreter is translating your message. Reinforce verbal interaction with visual aids and materials written in the client's language. Repeat important information more than once and make sure the patient understands by having them explain it themselves. The languages spoken in the PRC: 100% English, 40% Indian, 35% Arabic, 30% Urdu and French. The approach: requirements respectful to each other, willingness to share risk changes and explore, open to each other's differences, understand the power of action and words, ability to recognize learning opportunities, possessing knowledge of oneself, having an attitude that different is okay or interesting, commitment, co-responsibility. How do we get there? Manage the dynamic of difference. Make your leadership style based on the situation and people involved. Acquire institutionalized culture knowledge. Adapt to the culture context of the internal and external communities they serve. Be aware that diversity inclusion must be a business imperative and not an HR initiative. Causally linked to VA mission success, reinforced and measured. The learn model is to listen to the patient's perception of the problem. Explain your perception of the problem. Acknowledge and discuss differences and similarities. Recommend treatment management model or level of care. Negotiate the best way of management or treatment. And finally, repeat again until perfect understanding achieved. Culturally competent communication. Use inclusive language is a great tool to assure making no assumption or false predictions. Approach with engagement, openness, and with the willingness to learn. Active listening should be practiced with patients and colleagues, as it is a critical key of showing appreciation and understanding. Learning about each other's beliefs can enhance the person-to-person interactions and advance the multicultural mutual respect. Learning about the patient's culture is vital to achieve maximum patient-provider confidence. Explain what you want to do and why in an understandable language for all levels of staff can tremendously increase harmony. The 5 essential elements. Valuing diversity and understanding what cultural diversity truly represents. Having the capacity for cultural self-assessment. Being conscious of the dynamics inherent when cultures interact with patient-centered care. Acquiring institutionalized cultural knowledge polished through cross-cultural encounters. Develop adaptations to rural health service delivery reflecting an understanding of cultural diversity. Thank you.